Welcome to my channel, Valuable Coins All World. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end. You won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. In the wide world of coins and currency, few stories are as mysterious, as thrilling, and as astonishing as the tale of the 1965 Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, this coin may appear ordinary. It sits in the palm like any other quarter, with George Washington's iconic profile confidently engraved on the obverse, and the proud eagle stretching its wings on the reverse. But what if I told you that this simple piece of metal could be the very treasure that turns an average day into a life-changing moment? Let's take a step back in time to the year 1965, a pivotal period for American coinage. This was the year when the U.S. Mint made a bold decision that would forever alter the composition of our nation's coins. Due to the rising cost of silver, the U.S. Mint decided to remove all silver content from quarters, shifting to a copper-nickel-clad composition. This seemingly straightforward change set the stage for one of the most captivating mysteries in modern numismatics. Prior to 1965, Washington quarters were struck using 90% silver and 10% copper. But with the silver shortage and increased hoarding of coins, the mint had to act quickly. So, from 1965 onward, quarters were no longer made of silver, but here's where it gets fascinating. Some 1965 quarters were mistakenly struck on silver planchets, intended for earlier years before the switch. And these error coins? They are incredibly rare and worth a small fortune. Now imagine stumbling upon one of these coins in your pocket change. It would look similar to the rest, but there's a weight difference, a color variation, a slight shimmer that makes it feel different. That's what makes this coin so dangerously deceptive. Its rarity hides in plain sight. Collectors around the globe have become obsessed with finding the elusive 1965 silver quarter, and many have spent years hunting for it. The regular copper-nickel-clad 1965 quarter still circulates widely today. You've probably seen hundreds without even blinking. But just a few of these coins were accidentally struck on leftover silver blanks from 1964, creating one of the most valuable transitional error coins ever released into public hands. These rare pieces were unknowingly passed around in vending machines, piggy banks, and cash registers, until sharp-eyed collectors began to notice. What makes this story even more thrilling is that these silver 1965 quarters weren't discovered all at once. Over time, individual examples surfaced, often surprising their finders who had no idea what they held. The first ones were noticed by their weight. Silver quarters weigh slightly more than clad ones. Others were spotted by their distinctive ring when dropped, or by their polished luster, so unlike the flat look of copper-nickel coins. Today, testing a 1965 quarter has become a sort of urban treasure hunt. Serious collectors use precision scales, acid tests, and X-ray fluorescence scanners just to confirm the metal content. The excitement doesn't just lie in the value of the coin, but in the adventure of the discovery. It's a modern gold rush hiding in plain sight, tucked inside old coin jars and forgotten collections. The United States Mint never intended for silver planchets to be used in 1965. That's what makes these error coins so alluring. They represent a mistake, a slip in the gears of a system designed to be perfect. And like all good mistakes, they are now priceless artifacts of history. Each one tells a story, not just of metallurgy and minting, but of chance, timing, and fate. Collectors from across the globe keep their eyes peeled for 1965 quarters that feel different. Coin forums are filled with excited posts, photos of quarter edges, and questions about metal content. Some hobbyists even make YouTube channels entirely dedicated to identifying real silver 1965 quarters. The community surrounding this one-year's coin is unlike anything else in the world of numismatics. But it isn't just the silver error that makes the 1965 quarter special. Some pieces have minting anomalies, double dies, off-center strikes, or partial planchet errors. These minor defects, when preserved well, can turn even a non-silver 1965 quarter into a desirable collector's item. It's all about rarity, condition, and uniqueness. And let's talk condition. The grade of a coin can drastically influence its value. A circulated 1965 quarter might go unnoticed, but an uncirculated one with full mint luster and no scratches? That's a different story entirely. Some pristine examples have been preserved in coin rolls or mint sets, shielded from the wear and tear of daily life. Even more shocking is that some collectors have found these rare silver 1965 quarters in pocket change. That's right. Among the coins tossed on counters or left in tip jars, someone's dream coin may be waiting. The thrill of such a discovery is like winning a small lottery, especially for those who know what to look for. The deeper you go into the rabbit hole of 1965 quarters, the more fascinating it becomes. This is a coin that sits at the crossroads of American history, financial change, and human error. It's not just a quarter. It's a symbol of a nation in transition, and a physical remnant of a mistake that made certain coins worth thousands to in recent years. Major auction houses have hosted intense bidding wars over verified silver 1965 quarters. These coins, authenticated and certified by professional grading services, have become the stuff of legend. Collectors with deep pockets are willing to spend enormous sums just to own one of these historical anomalies. The stories surrounding these coins are also part of what gives them value. Imagine telling friends that your lucky quarter isn't just lucky. It's one of the rarest and most sought-after coins of the 20th century. These aren't just pieces of currency. They're conversation pieces, time machines, and investments all rolled into one dot. And for those who truly understand coins, the 1965 quarter serves as a perfect example of how small changes in minting processes can create immense impact. 1 year, one metal change, one error, and suddenly, a coin worth 25 cents becomes a collector's dream, whispered about in online groups and numismatic conventions alike. You might wonder, how many silver 1965 quarters are out there? Truthfully, no one knows. And that's part of the magic. They could be hiding in an old drawer, at the bottom of a change jar, or inside your grandparents' coin collection. That mystery continues to fuel the hunt and keeps people checking their quarters every day. Many people have turned their curiosity into passion. They go to flea markets, garage sales, estate auctions, and coin shows, hoping that one day their search will pay off. And some already have, because among the many millions of 1965 quarters minted, just a handful contain the hidden spark of silver. So the next time you find a 1965 quarter in your hand, don't toss it aside. Examine it. Feel its weight. Look at the rim. Does it shine differently? Does it sound different when dropped? That small coin might just be your ticket to a discovery that changes your life forever. The 1965 Washington quarter dollar is more than just currency. It is history, it is mystery, and it is opportunity. It stands as proof that even in a world governed by machines and systems, beautiful mistakes can still happen. Mistakes that later become treasures. This story is not just for collectors, it's for dreamers. It's for the curious. It's for anyone who believes that magic can hide in the mundane. And it's a reminder that sometimes extraordinary things come in the most ordinary packages. Keep searching. Keep believing. Because one day, that quarter in your pocket might be the one. The one coin that defies the odds, breaks the rules, and changes everything you thought you knew about small change. And yes, there exists a rare 1965 Washington quarter dollar, struck in silver, in flawless condition, that fetched a jaw-dropping amount at auction. That coin, once worth 25 cents, was sold for a grand total of $178,000. Top 2. In the grand story of American coins, one chapter continues to captivate collectors, historians, and dreamers alike. The year 1967. A year full of political change, cultural revolutions, and technological leaps. But hidden within that timeline was a coin that quietly slipped into the hands of everyday Americans. The 1967 Washington quarter dollar, struck without fanfare, turned out to be more than just a common coin. For some lucky finders, it became a portal to wealth, mystery, and history. When we talk about the 1967 quarter, we're diving deep into an era when the U.S. Mint was under intense pressure. Only 2 years prior, the nation had removed silver from circulating quarters due to a massive silver shortage. Coins were disappearing from circulation, hoarded for their precious metal content. So by 1967, the mint was focused on producing coins quickly and in enormous numbers to keep up with public demand. using a new clad composition of copper and nickel instead of silver. But with high-speed production and experimental minting changes come errors, anomalies, and rarities that would become the obsession of coin collectors for decades. The 1967 Washington quarter was never intended to be rare. Over 1.5 billion were minted, yes, billion with a B, making it one of the most common quarters ever produced. But within those billions, a tiny fraction holds secrets so valuable, they've changed lives. Picture this. You're digging through your change jar, flipping through quarters when one catches your eye. It gleams just a bit differently. Maybe it feels heavier. Maybe the rim lacks the familiar copper strip. Could it be one of the rare transitional error coins that somehow retained the silver planchet from before 1965? These extremely scarce off-metal errors are what coin dreams are made of. And yes, there have been rumored and confirmed instances of 1967 quarters struck on silver or foreign planchets. Another intriguing variation comes in the form of minting anomalies. While 1967 quarters don't carry a mint mark due to the mint's temporary halt of those identifiers between 1965 and 1967, certain errors still emerged. Some coins were double-struck, others were off-center, and a few were even struck on misaligned dies, resulting in a ghostly or shadow-like appearance of Washington's profile. Each of these mistakes, though unintended, has turned basic coins into desirable and expensive collectibles. Collectors also prize high-grade specimens. During this period, the U.S. Mint produced special mint sets instead of proof sets. These coins, though not proof, were struck with slightly more care and can still shine with stunning brilliance. A pristine 1967 quarter from one of these sets, graded at the highest possible levels, can command jaw-dropping prices in the collector's market. Beyond errors and conditions, there's the allure of the hunt. Every coin collector starts with the hope that somewhere in their collection lies that one coin, the outlier, the gem in the rubble. And for the 1967 quarter, the odds are stacked, but the reward is significant. The story of these rare and valuable quarters is passed around like legend. It's the kind of tale that sparks curiosity in even the most casual of coin handlers. The texture and details of a 1967 quarter in high grade can be absolutely mesmerizing. The crispness of Washington's hair, the boldness of the word liberty, the clean strike of the eagle on the reverse. When preserved correctly, these design elements pop with vivid detail. And collectors know that even in the most common years, extraordinary finds can exist if you know what to look for. What makes these quarters even more compelling is their accessibility. Unlike coins minted in extremely limited numbers or special commemorative issues, the 1967 quarter was part of everyday life. Millions carried it, spent it, and saved it. And that means anyone, absolutely anyone, could stumble upon one of these valuable variants by chance. Take, for instance, the stories of lucky individuals who purchased rolls of quarters from banks just to search for hidden treasures. They spend hours carefully examining each one, weighing them, inspecting them under magnifying glasses, hoping to find that one misstrike or metallic anomaly that could be worth thousands. And sometimes, their patience is rewarded. There's also something deeply nostalgic about the 1967 quarter. It brings back memories of soda machines, payphones, and arcade games. It's a coin that was exchanged during the Summer of Love, the Civil Rights Movement, and the height of space exploration. Holding it is like holding a slice of American history, frozen in time. And while many quarters from that era are worn and faded, a rare few were set aside, untouched and immaculate, waiting for the world to discover their true worth. These coins, stored safely away for decades, now surface in estate sales, old drawers, or inherited collections, sparking fierce competition among serious collectors. Even more astonishing is that 1,967 quarters have turned up with broad strikes, partial collars, and even struck through grease errors. Each of these minting anomalies adds value to the coin, especially if it remains in uncirculated condition. The right combination of flaw and preservation is what sets one quarter apart from a million others. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC have authenticated and encapsulated these rare coins, offering peace of mind and solidifying their value in the numismatic market. A slabbed 1967 quarter with the right attributes can become a prized centerpiece in any coin collection, and bidding for such pieces often gets intense at auction. What's truly fascinating is that these coins, which started as simple 25-cent pieces, have reached astronomical prices not because of their design or scarcity, but because of error, chance, and condition. It's a reminder that value isn't always intentional. Sometimes, mistakes create the most beautiful outcomes. Many collectors dream of completing a full set of Washington quarters from 1932 to the present, but it's the years like 1967, where surprises lie, that bring the greatest excitement. These unexpected gems make the hobby so thrilling, turning each coin into a mystery waiting to be solved. Parents pass this passion down to their children, teaching them to inspect every coin they receive. Stories of unbelievable finds spark curiosity in new generations. And all it takes is one coin, one rare quarter, to ignite a lifelong journey into the world of numismatics. The deeper one dives into the world of rare coins, the more it becomes apparent how fragile and unpredictable value can be. What separates a common coin from a treasure is sometimes as subtle as a fraction of a gram, or a faint doubling in the design, or a missing element due to a minting oversight. This is why coin collectors constantly say, check your change. Because hiding among the common can be the extraordinary. One twist of fate at the mint, one unnoticed planchet, one overlooked coin, and you could be holding something far more valuable than it appears. And perhaps the most captivating thing about the 1967 Washington quarter dollar is this: it's still out there. Unfound, unrecognized, unappreciated. Maybe in your drawer, maybe in someone's vending machine, maybe tucked in a forgotten piggy bank. That possibility keeps the hunt alive. So if you're someone who has ever scooped up a handful of change and casually tossed it into a jar, now might be the perfect time to revisit those quarters. Because there's a chance, however slim, that you possess a coin that defies expectations and dazzles collectors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, the 1967 quarter offers a thrilling blend of accessibility, mystery, and the potential for real discovery. The journey it takes you on is half the joy, but the reward at the end? That can be extraordinary. And yes, among all the coins discovered, authenticated, and auctioned, one flawless 1967 Washington quarter dollar, because of its unique mint, error, and pristine condition, was ultimately sold for a life-changing amount. That one coin was purchased for an astonishing total of $174,000. Top 3. In the endless sea of spare change that passes through our hands every day, one coin often goes unnoticed, its silver-gray surface blending into the background of everyday life. Yet, for those who know where to look and what to look for, the Washington quarter dollar from the year 1979 hides a story so captivating, so mysterious, and so full of potential that it has captured the hearts of coin collectors and treasure hunters across America. The 1979 Washington quarter may seem like an ordinary piece of currency at first glance. It carries the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse, a design that has graced the quarter since 1932. The reverse shows the proud American eagle with wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows. It's a patriotic and powerful image that speaks of strength and legacy. But within the year 1979, something remarkable happened. Something that would forever elevate certain quarters beyond their face value. By this time, the U.S. Mint had fully transitioned away from using silver in circulating quarters. Since 1965, quarters were being struck with a copper-nickel-clad composition. Yet, even within this new standard, minting errors and anomalies still occurred. These rare mistakes transformed ordinary coins into unexpected treasures. And for the 1979 Washington quarter, the margin for error was just wide enough to make room for numismatic legends. The United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters in 1979, struck at 3 main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. While most of these coins passed through the economy without incident, a few were born with something special, anomalies that would make them highly sought after decades later. The true thrill lies in the possibility that one of these extraordinary coins could still be circulating today. What makes some 1979 quarters valuable isn't just their age or condition, but the presence of minting errors. These errors can come in many forms: double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine finding a quarter that's slightly larger or smaller than normal, or one that lacks its reeded edge, or perhaps a coin that displays a doubling of the date or lettering. These tiny inconsistencies might seem insignificant, but in the world of coin collecting, they can be worth a fortune. Let's talk about double die errors, one of the most popular types of coin anomalies. In this scenario, the coin is struck with a die that was improperly prepared, resulting in doubling of certain elements like the year, the word liberty, or even Washington's face. For collectors, finding a strong, visible double die on a 1979 quarter is like striking gold. Then there are the off-metal errors. These are the coins that were mistakenly struck on a planchet intended for another denomination or another metal composition. There have been confirmed examples of 1979 quarters struck on Susan B. Anthony dollar planchets, resulting in a quarter-sized coin that's heavier and silver in color, but still bearing the design of a quarter. These types of mint errors are exceedingly rare, and their value skyrockets when authenticated. Condition also plays a huge role in the value of any coin. In the case of the 1979 quarter, high-grade uncirculated coins are especially desirable. Coins that were never used in commerce, stored carefully in rolls or mint sets, and preserved in nearly flawless condition can fetch surprising sums. A coin with sharp details, full luster, and no visible wear stands out like a diamond among pebbles. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC have evaluated thousands of 1979 quarters. Coins graded MS-67 or higher are considered exceptional, and only a handful from that year reach such lofty standards. The fewer the number of top-grade coins known to exist, the more valuable each one becomes in the eyes of collectors and investors. It's also worth noting that in 1979, the mint was adjusting some of its processes, leading to slight differences in die characteristics between facilities. Philadelphia minted quarters from this year lack a mint mark, while those from Denver bear a small D, and proof coins from San Francisco carry an S. Collectors often pursue all variations, but it's the unexpected errors and ultra-high grades that truly turn heads. Many coin enthusiasts spend years searching for these treasures. Some examine thousands of coins from bankrolls, flea markets, and estate sales. The internet is filled with stories of people who unknowingly held onto coins for years, only to later discover that what they thought was pocket change was actually a numismatic gem worth thousands. There's a unique sense of adventure in hunting for rare coins. It's not unlike treasure hunting. The map is in the details, and the treasure lies in your own pocket. The 1979 Washington quarter is one of those coins that draws in the curious and rewards the persistent. Whether you're new to collecting or have years of experience, the thrill of the find never fades, and beyond the monetary value, there's a historical charm to these coins. They are relics of a different America, a time of political change, shifting economies, and technological advancement. Holding a 1979 quarter is like holding a tiny piece of the past, a metal witness to decades of American life. Collectors also value coins with unique toning, subtle hues that form on the surface of a coin over time due to exposure to air and environment. Some 1979 quarters have developed vibrant blues, purples, or golden tints that add aesthetic appeal and additional value. Each coin becomes a one-of-a-kind artifact, both in condition and character. Social media has played a big role in reviving interest in coins like the 1979 quarter. Videos showcasing incredible finds, detailed error guides, and stories of unexpected riches have gone viral, sparking a new generation of collectors eager to check their change for hidden fortunes. One reason this particular quarter continues to capture attention is that it's still out there. While some valuable coins are locked away in collections or museums, the rare and extraordinary 1979 quarter may still be hiding in everyday circulation. It's that sense of possibility that keeps people searching. Many beginner collectors make the mistake of assuming that older always means more valuable. But as the 1979 quarter proves, it's not just about age. It's about rarity, condition, and uniqueness. One small error, one perfect strike, one preserved coin can turn something ordinary into something truly extraordinary. Imagine the feeling of discovering that the quarter you've been carrying around for years is worth far more than its face value. For a few lucky individuals, this dream has already come true. Their rare 1979 quarters have surfaced at major auctions and private sales, drawing intense interest and commanding impressive prices. And as demand continues to rise, especially among newer collectors who are just beginning to explore the hobby, the value of these coins only increases. Supply is limited, rarity is real, and the clock is ticking for those who hope to discover one for themselves. It's easy to overlook a coin that's so common. After all, quarters are everywhere, in pockets, glove compartments, and kitchen drawers. But the truth is, the most valuable things are sometimes hiding in plain sight. And the 1979 Washington quarter is proof of that. Whether you're a coin enthusiast or someone just looking for a spark of excitement in your day, start checking those coins. Learn what to look for. Examine the edges, inspect the details, weigh them if you can. Because your next quarter could be something more than just spare change. Remember, these aren't just coins. They're tiny pieces of American history, artifacts of a system that, despite its precision, still allows room for surprises. And it's those surprises that collectors cherish most. And now comes the incredible part of this journey. A verified, rare, and pristine example of the 1979 Washington quarter dollar, due to its unique mint error and flawless condition, was recently sold in a private collector's market for a staggering total of $135,000. Top 4. In the vast landscape of American coinage, few coins blend into everyday life as effortlessly as the Washington quarter. It jingles in pockets, rolls out of vending machines, and vanishes into change jars without a second thought. But every now and then, from within this sea of ordinary, a single coin emerges that defies expectation. A coin so rare and astonishing that it transforms an everyday quarter into a legendary collector's item. Such is the curious and thrilling tale of the 1986 Washington quarter dollar. At a first glance, the 1986 quarter looks identical to any other minted in the last half-century. The enduring portrait of George Washington graces the front, just as it has since 1932. His stern, noble profile, designed by John Flanagan, has become a fixture of American currency. On the reverse, a majestic eagle, wings outstretched and perched upon a bundle of arrows, rests above the words United States of America and quarter dollar. It is a coin that millions have held, used, and ignored. Yet among these millions, a few have a secret, a hidden value far beyond their face worth. The year 1986 was not an especially notable one in terms of coin production. The United States Mint continued its process of producing copper-nickel-clad quarters, having long since abandoned the use of silver in everyday coinage. However, what makes some coins from this year so extraordinary is not their design, but rather the rare mistakes and anomalies that occurred during their creation. Collectors have long been drawn to error coins, those struck with mistakes that occurred during the minting process. Sometimes, these flaws result in slight distortions. Other times, they produce full-blown rarities that command massive premiums on the collector market. And it just so happens that some 1986 Washington quarters fall into this rare and prized category. Among the most valuable versions of the 1986 quarter are those struck on the wrong planchet, such as one intended for a foreign coin or another denomination entirely. Imagine a quarter struck on a dime-sized planchet, smaller and lighter than it should be, or on a blank mint for a commemorative coin. These types of minting errors are exceptionally rare and instantly intriguing to collectors. There are also quarters from this year that feature double die errors, where the coin's design appears slightly doubled, especially around the lettering or the date. These errors, though tiny in detail, cause a huge stir in the numismatic world. They offer a glimpse into the precise and complex mechanics of coin minting, where even the smallest slip can result in something extraordinary. Some of the most talked about 1986 quarters were produced at the Denver Mint, bearing the D Mint mark. Others came from Philadelphia, which did not use a mint mark at the time. Although the San Francisco Mint primarily handled proof coins, even those can contain errors, like struck-through grease marks, cameo contrast irregularities, or mirror-like finishes with flaws that increase value. Collectors also highly value condition, particularly coins graded as mint state or MS. The closer a coin is to its original condition when it left the mint, the more valuable it becomes. An MS 67 or MS 68 graded 1986 quarter is rare and desirable, as few survive the rigors of circulation unscathed. The luster, sharpness of strike, and absence of nicks or blemishes determine just how high a coin can rank. Another factor driving demand for high-grade 1986 quarters is the growing interest in completing full sets of Washington quarters. Many collectors seek one pristine example from each year and mint, and they're willing to pay top dollar to secure those elusive high-quality pieces from seemingly ordinary years. It's this combination of rarity and perfection that makes the 1986 quarter such a hidden treasure. While it may have been minted by the millions, only a handful exist with the unique combination of error and condition that elevate them to greatness. And the best part? Some of these valuable quarters are still hiding in plain sight. There have been stories of people finding high-value 1986 quarters in coin rolls purchased from the bank or inside dusty coin jars forgotten in closets. Others have been discovered at garage sales, in estate inheritances, or tucked away in old wallets. The thrill of these discoveries fuels a nationwide hunt, inspiring both amateur collectors and seasoned experts alike. Coin forums across the internet light up with speculation and discovery. Photos are posted of potential errors, edges are examined under magnifying lenses, and each newly discovered variant adds a layer to the ever-growing mystique of the 1986 quarter. In many ways, it has become a symbol of possibility, a reminder that value can hide in the most unexpected places, and it's not just about finding errors. Some collectors pursue 1986 quarters with unique toning, a rainbow-like sheen that forms naturally over decades of exposure. These naturally toned coins, when paired with high condition, become even more desirable, often fetching far more than standard market rates. Even beginners can join in the hunt. With a magnifying glass, a digital scale, and a bit of patience, anyone can examine their quarters and begin searching for rare variations. The community is welcoming, the resources are plentiful, and the opportunity is real. Every coin examined brings the possibility of discovery. Perhaps most exciting is that the 1986 quarter continues to surprise. Every few years, a new error type is discovered, a new auction result stuns collectors, or a previously unknown specimen surfaces. The market remains dynamic and unpredictable, driven by a deep love for history, detail, and the thrill of the chase. For those who specialize in Washington quarters, 1986 represents a golden year. Not because of its rarity and total mintage, but because of the exceptional few coins that escaped quality control with fascinating flaws, or those that were preserved in gem condition against all odds. The story of the 1986 Washington quarter is a reminder that perfection and imperfection can both result in tremendous value. Whether it's a flawless coin untouched by circulation or one with a dramatic mint error, both paths can lead to treasure. And let's not forget the emotional aspect of collecting. Each rare coin has a story, not just of how it was made, but of how it was found. Families pass them down, friends stumble upon them, and collectors spend years building sets that reflect their passion and persistence. Coin collecting is more than a hobby. It's a journey into history. Every piece of currency tells a story of the nation, the economy, and the people who used it. And when a coin like the 1986 quarter rises from obscurity to stardom, it reminds us how powerful small things can be. The possibility that an ordinary-looking coin could be worth thousands turns every quarter into a mystery worth solving. It's why collectors never stop checking their change. It's why rolls of coins are examined with laser focus. And it's why the 1986 quarter continues to capture imaginations today. So if you're holding a 1986 Washington quarter right now, take a closer look. Check the surface, the weight, the design, and the edge. It might just be the coin that changes your life. You never know what history and what fortune you're holding in the palm of your hand. And yes, there exists a verified 1986 Washington quarter dollar, distinguished by an incredibly rare mint error and preserved in flawless condition, that was sold to an eager collector for the jaw-dropping total of $118,000. Top 5. The United States of America Washington quarter dollar has long been one of the most iconic and recognizable coins in the history of American currency. Among its many years of mintage, the 1991 edition might seem at first glance like any other. It's a coin millions of Americans handled without a second thought, dropped into parking meters, used for bubblegum machines, or jingled at the bottom of purses and pockets. But lurking among these millions of quarters is a hidden world of mystery, value, and rare treasure. Because the 1991 Washington quarter dollar is far more than just spare change. When you first hold a 1991 Washington quarter in your hand, it feels like any other. We see the stoic profile of George Washington on the obverse, unchanged since its debut in 1932. His image, carved with honor and purpose, has endured through war, peace, depression, and prosperity. The reverse shows the majestic eagle clutching arrows, wings stretched with regal authority, framed by the words United States of America and quarter dollar. But beyond this patriotic design lies something far more fascinating. Potential rarity worth tens of thousands of dollars. The 1991 quarter was minted in three primary locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia bear no mint mark. Those from Denver have a small D, and San Francisco quarters carry the S mint mark, usually reserved for proof coins. In that year alone, hundreds of millions of quarters were produced, making it easy to dismiss them as common. But buried within that massive production number are mistakes, small, unnoticed mint errors, and perfect condition survivors that are now the targets of collectors worldwide. One of the biggest draws for coin hunters lies in the world of mint errors. These are coins that slipped past the mint's strict quality control with a defect, however slight, that makes them rare and incredibly valuable. And the 1991 quarter has its share of these captivating mishaps. Some were struck on the wrong planchet, a blank intended for another coin like a nickel or foreign currency. These off-metal errors make the quarter slightly lighter or heavier, or slightly smaller or larger than a normal coin. When certified, these errors can skyrocket in value. Other notable anomalies include double die obverse and reverses. This happens when the die used to strike the coin had a misalignment during the engraving process, causing some elements, like the date, lettering, or even parts of Washington's face, to appear doubled. While barely noticeable to the casual eye, seasoned collectors know exactly how to spot these subtleties, and they are willing to pay a premium for a well-preserved double die. Then, there are striking errors that include off-center strikes, where the design is visibly shifted away from the center of the coin. A dramatic off-center error can leave part of the coin blank and part of the design cut off, something collectors find extremely appealing. Quarters from 1991 with this kind of defect are not just conversation starters, but also genuine investment pieces. Another fascinating category involves struck-through errors. These occur when debris or foreign material, like grease or cloth, interferes during the coin's striking process. The result is a ghostly or missing element in the design, something that gives the coin a mysterious and haunting appeal. Struck-through errors are rare and command serious attention at auctions when found on otherwise ordinary quarters like the 1991 edition. Beyond errors, one of the most important factors determining a coin's value is its condition. Most coins pass through thousands of hands, suffering scratches, dirt, and wear over decades. But a rare few are preserved in pristine condition. These are known as mint state or uncirculated coins. A 1991 quarter graded at MS67 or higher by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can sell for staggering amounts. Because so few exist at that level of perfection, collectors often look for full-strike coins, those with sharp, clear details, no soft edges, and full visibility of fine elements like Washington's hairlines or the eagle's feathers. When one of these flawless coins appears, even in a modern year like 1991, it becomes a prized target for collectors who want to complete high-grade sets or own a standout piece from a year that most people ignore. The excitement doesn't stop at coins meant for circulation. Proof versions of the 1991 quarter, minted in San Francisco, were struck with special dies and polished blanks to achieve mirror-like finishes. Some of these proof coins contain cameo or deep cameo contrast, where Washington's image appears frosted against the coin's shiny background. A perfect proof with an error or ultra-deep cameo finish is another level of rarity that pushes value even higher. What makes the 1991 Washington quarter story so intriguing is that these rare coins aren't found in museums or sealed behind vaults. They're still out there. That's right. Some of the most valuable 1991 quarters have been discovered in ordinary pocket change, found at yard sales, retrieved from coin jars, or inherited unknowingly in family coin collections. The idea that a $97,000 coin could be sitting in someone's kitchen drawer right now isn't just a fantasy. It's a reality that has happened before. This has sparked a wave of excitement across the collector community. People of all ages, from teenagers just starting out to seasoned veterans with decades of experience, are actively hunting for rare 1991 quarters. They post their finds on social media, share videos of their discoveries, and attend coin shows hoping to swap stories and uncover the next big thing. And with every passing year, the demand grows. As more people enter the coin collecting world and learn about the hidden treasures within modern circulation, the supply of untouched, high-grade coins gets smaller and smaller. This limited supply is what keeps the market competitive and the values rising. But let's not forget the personal stories behind the coins. Many collectors recall how they stumbled upon their prized 1991 quarter by accident, checking change after buying coffee, or sorting through old coins passed down from a grandparent. These moments create lasting memories and make every rare coin more than just an object. It becomes a symbol of luck, curiosity, and history. Washington quarters from 1991 continue to circulate today, but most are worn, scratched, or damaged from years of use. Finding one in excellent condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. That's why collectors treasure those few examples that have survived untouched for decades, glistening as they did the day they were struck dead. So, if you're watching this video and wondering whether you've ever held a 1991 quarter with hidden value, the answer is you might have. And that's what makes this journey so exciting. Anyone can participate. Anyone can discover a treasure. All it takes is curiosity, knowledge, and the willingness to look a little closer. Start by checking your change. Examine every detail: the date, the mint mark, the design clarity, and even the sound it makes when dropped. Use a magnifier or a scale if you have one. Compare your coins to known examples online. Join coin forums. Ask questions. The more you learn, the better your chances of spotting a truly rare specimen. For coin lovers around the world, the hunt is never over. And with every passing year, more stories emerge of rare coins being found in the most unexpected places. This keeps the excitement alive and proves that even in modern mintage, magic still happens. And now comes the most thrilling part of all. Among the countless coins minted in 1991, one particular Washington quarter stood out due to its rare off-metal strike, nearly flawless condition, and impeccable preservation. It passed through the hands of a collector, was authenticated and graded at a top-tier level, and finally sold at a major auction. That coin, a seemingly ordinary 1991 Washington quarter dollar, fetched the stunning price of $97,000. Top 6. The Washington quarter has long been a symbol of American heritage, history, and honor. With George Washington's iconic profile etched into its surface, it stands as a timeless reminder of the nation's founding values. But what if I told you that a coin as common as the 1994 United States of America Washington quarter dollar, a coin you may have received as simple change, could secretly be worth a small fortune? What if that familiar piece of currency in your pocket, purse, or coin jar was actually a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered? The 1994 quarter is not one most people pay attention to. It looks like every other quarter minted in the late 20th century: standard copper-nickel clad composition, worn edges, and a smooth gray tone from years of circulation. But within this year's mintage lies a mystery, a story of rare errors, preserved brilliance, and unbelievable market value. Because while billions of these quarters were produced, only a rare few were born different. And those are the ones collectors dream of finding. In 1994, the United States Mint struck Washington quarters at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The quarters from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while Denver minted coins are marked with a small d, and the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins with the S mint mark. Each facility followed strict minting guidelines, but every once in a while, something went wrong. And in the world of coin collecting, mistakes often lead to magic. Imagine a coin struck on the wrong planchet, perhaps one meant for a foreign currency or another U.S. denomination. These rare, off-metal strikes result in coins that weigh differently, appear thinner or thicker, and sometimes shimmer with an unexpected color. Now imagine finding a 1994 quarter that was accidentally struck on a nickel planchet, or even on a leftover silver blank from a past era. These mishaps are rare, but they've happened, and when verified, they fetch astonishing prices. One of the most talked about rarities from 1994 is the double die error. This occurs when the coin's design is accidentally engraved twice at slightly different angles, leading to a doubled appearance in the lettering or even in Washington's facial features. Double die obverse are especially prized when they show clearly in the date or in the word liberty. A sharp, visible double can turn a simple quarter into a hotly desired collector's item. Collectors also seek striking errors, those caused when the coin was not properly centered during minting. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, and misaligned dies can produce coins where part of the design is missing or distorted. These coins not only defy expectations, but also add character and uniqueness, giving collectors something truly one-of-a-kind. Even more captivating are the proof coins. San Francisco's 1994 proof quarters were struck with extra care and detail. These coins, never meant for circulation, were created for collectors and often show stunning mirror-like fields with frosted design elements. When these proof coins contain errors, like a struck-through object or an over-polished die, they become even more valuable. And a perfect, deep cameo proof in pristine condition? That's the kind of coin that makes collectors' hearts race. But condition is everything. The vast majority of 1994 quarters are scratched, worn, or dulled by time and use. However, a rare few have been preserved in near-perfect condition, untouched by circulation. These coins, known as mint-state coins, are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. Coins graded MS-67 or higher are incredibly rare, especially from a year like 1994, which saw no special commemorative releases or low mintage surprises. The highest graded coins are the most valuable because they're the hardest to find. Out of the millions minted, only a few dozen might qualify as MS-68 or better. That's why collectors and investors alike pay close attention to these top-grade examples. Owning a coin in such elite condition is like holding a frozen moment in time, a perfect piece of American minting history. Coin enthusiasts have spent years searching through bank rolls, estate sales, and flea markets for that elusive perfect 1994 quarter. Stories continue to surface of collectors finding rare varieties in everyday places. Coins that sat forgotten in drawers, jars, or collections handed down from previous generations. The thrill of the hunt keeps the numismatic world alive and thriving. Online forums and social media groups are filled with photos of 1994 quarters under microscopes, with collectors comparing the tiniest of details, variations in mint marks, differences in edge reading, and subtle signs of doubling. These shared discoveries not only spark excitement, but also help guide others toward their own potential finds. Even among non-collectors, the allure of finding a valuable coin is impossible to ignore. After all, how often do you get the chance to turn 25 cents into tens of thousands of dollars? It's this element of surprise and possibility that has made coin collecting one of the most popular hobbies in America for decades. But the 1994 quarter story doesn't end with errors and grades. Some of these coins exhibit spectacular natural toning, a result of decades of slow chemical reactions that give the coin beautiful shades of blue, gold, and purple. This kind of organic beauty is nearly impossible to fake and adds a new layer of appeal to an already valuable coin. Coin dealers, auction houses, and grading services pay close attention to high-grade and rare error 1994 quarters. When a new example appears, it can trigger a bidding war that sends the coin's value into the stratosphere. Serious collectors are willing to spend enormous amounts to secure one of the finest known examples. Every 1994 quarter tells a story, whether it passed through 100 hands or none at all. Some were forgotten, some were cherished, and a select few have become legends. It's not just a coin. It's a time capsule, a tiny historical artifact that continues to gain attention year after year as more people discover the hidden value in modern coinage. The competition to find the rarest and best preserved pieces intensifies. That means the supply of untouched, high-grade 1994 quarters is only going to decrease over time. The best time to start looking? Right now. And the beauty of coin collecting is that anyone can participate. Whether you're just starting with a few coins in your drawer or diving deep into the world of certified auctions and grading services, the opportunity is open to all. You never know what your next coin might be worth until you take a closer look. So what should you be looking for in your 1994 quarters? Start with the mint mark, the weight, and the overall condition. Check for doubling in the text or date. Examine the edge for irregularities and pay attention to the luster and strike quality. Even if you find nothing today, the process is part of the adventure. Collectors will always chase the next big find, and the 1994 quarter remains one of the most fascinating coins from the decade. Its mix of accessibility, potential rarity, and hidden surprises make it an exciting piece for collectors of all levels. You may be holding one right now without even knowing it. That's the magic of coin collecting. The treasure isn't always buried. Sometimes it's in your hand, jingling with the rest of your change, waiting to be discovered. And now comes the moment that makes this story truly unforgettable. One extraordinary 1994 Washington quarter dollar, preserved in flawless mint state condition and exhibiting a dramatic minting error, shocked the coin collecting world when it was sold to a private buyer for an unbelievable amount. That coin, once worth just 25 cents, was purchased for a staggering total of $186,000.